Hey everybody! So after a couple of days off for the Christmas holiday, I am back. Hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas if you celebrate it. I know I did, but it's good to be back doing videos, and we'll get NHL hockey back tomorrow night. But plenty to talk about today and tomorrow before games get going again. And we're going to start off with some hockey collection videos because over the last few days I've gotten some really cool stuff. First, we're going to do these old Bruins cards. Subscriber Glenn D sent me these classic Bruins cards, which I absolutely love. So, huge shout out to Glenn, and thank you so much. He sent me 4 of these, and I put them in these protective casings so nothing happens to them. They stay in good shape because these are old and very, very cool cards that I would not want anything to happen to. So first up is Rick Middleton, one of the most underrated players, not only in Bruins history, but I think in NHL history. He just had his number 16 retired by the Bruins a few weeks ago. He was a great, great player from the mid-70s all the way through the late 80s. Spent most of his career with the Boston Bruins, and just such a great and underappreciated player. This card is from 1980. And it is right, in the where Middleton had started to become the superstar player that he was. So if you look, his first season with the Bruins in 1976-77, he had 42 points, 20 goals and 22 assists. The next season, 77-78, he had 60 points. 25 goals and 35 assists, and you see him getting better here. 78-79 was his breakout season where he became an NHL star. He had 38 goals and 48 assists for 86 points. And then 79-80, which is the last year on this card because the card's from 1980, 80 games played, 40 goals, 52 assists for 92 points. So he crossed the 90-point mark and really solidified himself as the star player that he was in 79-80. He was a great player for the Bruins all through the 80s as well. Just really, really awesome, underappreciated player who finally had his number retired by Boston, and that was a long time coming. Should have happened years ago. Also, Wayne Cashman, another fantastic, long time Bruin. Just the epitome of what a Boston Bruin should be. He was there for the big bad Bruins era. He was there through the late 70s and the Don Cherry era. He was there into the 80s. He played from the mid-60s until I believe 1983 was his last season. So long career in the NHL. Over 1,000 games played, over 1,000 penalty minutes, almost 800 career points. He was absolutely a Boston Bruin type player. Captain of the team, as you can see at this point. This card also from 1980 has his career stats all the way from 64-65, which was his first pro season, up until 79-80 when this card stopped. He played through 83, so multiple 20-goal seasons, one 30-goal season. Highest point total, 89 points in 73-74. Just multiple 100 penalty minute seasons. He was a great Boston Bruin, and he's a Bruins legend. Not a guy I think that's not really thought of outside of Boston, but if you talk to old-time Bruins fans and just guys who saw him play growing up, Wayne Cashman is a Boston Bruins legend. So another great card here. Another 1980 card, same year. Gary Doak played quite a few seasons for the Bruins. Played a number of years just around the league because he started with the Red Wings, but then played with the Bruins from 65 until 1970. Then he went to Vancouver, New York, back to Detroit, and then finally back to the Bruins in 72-73. So he bounced around a little bit between stints with Boston, but spent a large majority of his career with the Boston Bruins. and he was just a really underappreciated player. That not a huge star, not a guy that a ton of guys know about, but he was a really, really good player and a defenseman. So the point totals weren't, huge. He wasn't an offensive defenseman or anything like that. So there's not a lot of point totals. 23 goals, 103 assists in his career for 130 points. But a guy that everyone in Boston knows, and just a really right-handed shot. Hometown in Saugus, Mass. Born in Ontario. Not a huge star, but a really cool player. And lastly, Moorish Lucca, who I really didn't know much about. Don't know much about. He played. This card's later. This card's from 1985. So he played for the Jets for a while. Looking on the back here, in the early 80s. And he had one huge season. In 1981-82, he scored 43 goals and 49 assists for 92 points, and also had 102 penalty minutes that year. Now, he is a forward, obviously, left wing, and he 84-85. This was right when he first got traded to Boston. I'm not sure for how long he played in Boston, but he split the 84-85 season between Winnipeg and Boston, and had 10 goals and 17 assists that year for 27 points. He played 47 games that season with Winnipeg, and then got traded to Boston. Played 22 with the Bruins, and I'm not sure for how much, how longer he stuck with the Bruins after that, because this is not a guy that I know that much about. But cool card nonetheless, and definitely a player that kind of goes under the radar, not a guy that you hear a lot about. So those 4 cards came from Glenn, who sent them to me all the way from Edmonton, and that is really, really cool. So thank you so much, Glenn. These are awesome, and some real classic Bruins cards here, especially Cashman and Middleton. Those are Bruins legends. So these are great to have. Thank you so much, and with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are in the description as well, so you can check those out. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.